And we're live, going for gold on a Tuesday. I am the hostess with the mostest, with God's hunger days. I am the High Priestess Phoenix, your spiritual healer, teacher, shaman, seer, oracle, lightworker, starseed, earth angel, mystic, medium, psychic, witch, yogi, guru. What are you doing down here? Evangelist, North American Sybil. I am your messenger of God. First child of God, the Lilith, reincarnated. Are we ready for day 3 of, I feel like we're playing some Hanukkah games, but we'll call them Hunger Games because I don't know exactly how Hanukkah works. Oh, bro. We're moving on to our next teaching. What's our next teaching? Well, the first teaching was taking action. We are moving through this so fast, or I am. Are you keeping up? I am moving through the energy quite quickly. I feel like I'm in a rocket ship of my own making. Really? Yes. In order to keep up with me, you might have seen what I posted on my community page, my latest live video, and anything in my shorts. That was a good time to squeeze that in. Squeeze it for all it's worth. All right, what are we doing? We're going through the dark night of the soul, is what popped up. And it's the pop-up because that's my speciality. Really? Yeah, and I tried to explain, there's some new people, so I really need to break it down. Break down. I'm not going to pull out all the cards. Don't make me do all that. The book came first. The cards came later. I said in the beginning, when I got this book, I was like, this thing should have came with a warning label. I felt like it was the cause of all of my problems. It wasn't. It was just the guidance to everything. I was sure that I did all of this to myself by messing with witchcraft. It's a great story, bro. I get to tell the story however I want. So imagine all the twists and turns when I feed you the fucking documentary. I was like, I can portray myself however I want and tell the story however I want. But really, that's how it was. It was like, oh my God, I did this to myself. All right, so there's stages to this bullshit. There's levels to this. Oh, I turned to Famanach. Ew. Is that you, Russell? Brussels sprout? She has a message. I literally turned to a message from Famanach. As a woman scorned, I'm best avoided, for my obsession for revenge consumes my every poisonous thought. Uh-oh. Have I initiated revenge within my twin flames? They're going to get me back. That's Russell. That's Russell. That's what happened. I disrespected him. I was about to say similar to what I did to Wolfman, but is there anything worse than I've done to Bobby? I mean, realistically. Hell no, no fury than a woman's scorn. Considering that they're my divine feminines and they're working through dark feminine feelings, I think that this comes as a warning. I'll get you and your little dog too. Hey, bro, chill. You know you're fighting God, right? This morbid preoccupation devours my every waking moment and has become my driving force behind acts of vengeance. It's payback time. Sorry. I become this really wicked witch in these moments. Really? Why? Because you have no power. If you want to take all power and authority on your hurt feelings and go make somebody pay for your feelings instead of just dealing with them, I want to sit back and see how this plays out. Welcome to the main event, the Hunger Games of Hell. And this is what Dante described. People going at each other's throats, people fucking stealing fucking food from children, all this weird shit, bro. I'm like, all right. Well, let me just get a good seat to watch this go down. It's about to go. Can I remind you who I am? My last life, this life, as life, we're going to get to this particular part of the book, is the Morgan. They say I influence the effects on war. No, I'm just the fucking goddess of it. I fucking love this shit. I fucking love this shit. Really? Yeah, let's go to war, bro. What are we fighting? Who cares? Let's just go fucking chop their heads off, bro. Just fuck it. In the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. There's no fight energy bigger than my energy. You want to fight? Let's fight. Let's fight. Let's fight. Realistically, no, I don't have it in me. I'm not vengeful. Not in this life. But, because vengeance is God. But if you want to, play God, go ahead. I'm going to sit here and watch how this goes down. But I can tell you, it's not going to go well. Famanach over there, what happened to Russ? I couldn't understand why he was being such a bitch. Why are you being such a bitch? You're always being hurtful. You're just like always trying to hurt my feelings and act like I'm not important. And you're just always being a douchebag. God keeps telling me to go be nice to you, and you're just a fucking douchebag. Fucking douchebag. What is your fucking problem, douchebag? And then I'm over there telling his girl to rub him harder or something. He's still being a douchebag. And then finally, after like forever, it feels like 2 years later, God shows me, he's like, he's been rejecting you because you rejected him. And it didn't make sense until I saw what happened with Wolfman. I told him off in the fucking first video. And he just like shut me down. He like blocked me and some more shit. Really? Yeah, he's like, fuck you, bitch. And that's pretty much what happened with all of them. They get to this, fuck you, bitch. You don't know shit. Am I wrong? I'm not saying my delivery was nice, and that's that Marshall Mathers. I'm gonna keep blaming it on you. It wasn't me, it was Slim Shady. It wasn't me, it works for you, dickhead. Realistically, is it something outside of me or just an energy we both share? Give it back to me. You don't know what to do with it. Realistically, yeah. And that's what I shared yesterday. It's like, you can't just be calling grown man bitches. Stop being a bitch then, bro. What the fuck? Probably had the nerve to tell me, don't call me bro. Don't call me Lisa. Stop calling me Lisa. Have you yet? No? Then shut up, bro. I'll call you bitch. Keep this up. He calls you Lisa? Yeah. That's all he knows. Asshole. Dumb me down to the skin I wear just because you're always running around in yours. How about I call you Adam? Oh, look at God's little Adam, his helpless Adam, and where's Eve and your cursed children? Oh, you don't know how this plays out. You're trying to tell me that you don't know that your oldest kid is going to fucking envy your fucking youngest kid? Explain how you don't know the psychology of how this works. Oh, you're just too busy looking at me. You're not looking at yourself and the role you're playing in your life. What about you, Hades? Shit, begging for a bitch. And you just think you got this bitch in the bag, bro. No, it's if I surrender to the bitch as shit. If I want to crawl in the bag with you. It's in the bag. You're going to have to woo me. That's your words, not mine. Moving on to this. Fucking let the battle begin, bro. The morbid preoccupation, whatever. You may consider my reactions to treachery vital and quick off the mark. But believe me when I say they had it coming. Don't judge me too harshly. When emotions are hijacked, it's too hard not to rise to the bait. And that's fucking pot. Get him, bro. Get him, bro. Get him, bro. Get him, bro. Oh, shit. He would instigate the shit out of Russ. Get him, bro. Get him, bro. Me and fucking Pac, fuck. So I'm like, dude, fuck. We'll never, dude, he's right there. Get him. That was good, wasn't it? And that's where it is. Kobe will come in, like, look what you said and did. And there's Pac with this biggest, most beautiful fucking smile ever, bro. He's trying to hold it in. He'll put his fingers around his mouth to try to hold it in. Because I looked at him. I can't hold it in. And then we fall to the ground laughing. And Kobe's like, you guys are fucking unbelievable. And then I look at someone like Buddha or even Melchizedek, and it's like, Metatron. I'm like, I'm so sorry you're stuck with, us class clowns. Like, but they've been stuck with the smallest minds to begin with. It's just the biggest spirits. Seriously, how do you not give into this? How do I not say some shit right now when you just did this shit? And that's where it is did you say all that? No, but I was thinking it, and it's going to come out later. All right, let's go back to something. What brought me up here? There was a final thought. The final thought is, on a Mars day, you take action. There's only so much action you can take. And then you have to sit there and wait for your new orders. Right? I'm seeing the Prince of Troy. I'm seeing the beach of Troy. It's like, we're going to take over the beach. Okay, well, we did that first thing in the morning. Now what do? Now we rest. We celebrate. We wait for the next fight. We don't just keep fighting. You go over one battle at a time. You make, you know what I mean? You move yourself across the battlegrounds, is what I saw earlier. Realistically, yeah. And I was talking about manifestations in the last, we've been talking about it forever, ever since Metatron. I've said for a long time that my mind is clear. There's no thoughts that process through there. And that's why I can see the visions of time and space, because I'm not clouded by my own time and space, right? Stuck in my own space of my own time. That's a good way to put it. Now, I tried to explain to you in the last couple of videos, and especially with the Nine of Swords, it hits you at a certain state. It hit me at a state, and we moved on from it. The Nine of Swords is being trapped by your mind. So even though I don't have an idling mind like yours, it does process information. So whatever I went through, whatever I go through today, tomorrow morning I'll wake up with a fresh mind and I'll see it differently, and I'll have thoughts. And I'll clear those thoughts, which is reliving or processing or what do they call it? Meditating on, you know what I mean, what has happened, reflecting. That's being in your divine feminine. So I'll work through those thoughts, and after they're gone and I don't have any thoughts about what has been, now I can just sit in the now and wait for information of what to do next. Now, this is the difficult part about what we do. What the fuck are they doing? Let me close this back door. It's making noise. When you're being guided by the Holy Spirit and not your own knowing, you don't just go with any thought. So I taught you in the last couple of videos of how to filter your thoughts and how to listen, work through them, and how to get them so that you can take action. But there's only so much action you can take because God only gave you one thought. He only gives you one thought at a time because it's so hard for you. Some of them you can work through real quickly, and some of them you can't. And he gives you plenty of time to work through this thought, right? And that's how all things are created. So God gives you a vision. He's like, you know what I mean? He told me to let go of this job. He told me all the reasons why and this and that. So I do it. And I'm like, all right, so now what do? Just rest. That was enough for you to go over that battle. And then you're sitting there like, well, what's my next plan of action? And so we go back to the Nine of Swords. And the Nine of Swords is talking about how you don't know what to do next. So you start doing shit just to occupy your time. As soon as I got off my video earlier, I swear to God, I had just gotten out of the shower, got ready. I went and peeled everything off and crawled in bed for another hour and a half. I got up. I barely made it to go do a little bit of running around, get some lunch and some necessities. And I came back and we sat here for like 5 minutes and then there was a fucking fire drill. Are you serious? Yeah. That's what's happened so far. And it's like, damn, half the day is gone. Well, yeah, very much so. I didn't plan this, but that's what happens when you're not planning your day. There's times that a lot of things will not happen, but in that time where you didn't do anything, a lot of reflection happens. And that's the processing of the thoughts so that you can work past them. The only way to do that kind of reflective work is to sit still. The energy of the week is guided as an ebb and flow. It's a saying in spirituality, go with the ebb and flow. I show you that it does it daily. But by the moon or by the planetary movement outside of there, it shifts our ebb and flow as to what is flowing in and what is pulling out. All right, so it starts with the moon cycles. They build up to a big push and then they pull back, right? So right now is going to be the beginning of the first light of the new moon. You'll start to see it. It'll be the tiniest crescent. Maybe, yeah, it should be by the second day after. It starts to build up, right? So then we'll have a full moon by January. I think it was like 3rd or 6th or some shit. It'll be as bright as it could be. The first one of the year. So then we're building up to something. Now, as soon as it gets its brightest, then it starts to dim. So our lives move in that cycle from month to month. Now, on a weekly basis, how we work with this is the ebb and flow. There's actionable days, and I literally plan my appointments on specific days. If I have something to do physically, And it depends. I always plan them on a Tuesday because that's when you have the strength. It's ruled by the day by Mars. It gives you actionable strength to do things you would literally not do. If I'm going to do laundry or I need an appointment, I got to go somewhere, I'm going to plan that appointment on a Tuesday. If it's something that I'm hopeful for, right? So I'm going to do an interview, or I have an appointment and I hope it works out, or I'm putting in an application and I want, you know what I mean? A follow-up. I'm going to do that on a Thursday. But these are my action days. Tuesdays and Thursdays are the most actionable days. Wednesday is a good day to get things done, but a lot of it is just through communication. You'll have energy to make contacts. That's what a Wednesday does. Okay? A Friday, depending on your heart, bro, how it weighs, the world has done to you, can be a great day for people. If they have an open heart and they're like, you know what I mean? They don't have a heavy heart and nothing's really bothering them. But on a Friday, that's one of my hardest days. Saturn is a Saturn day that pushes all my limits. I wake up with a lot of great energy because you're pushed, and then it just it pushes you off of the edge. Really? Yeah, you're pushed to go, but then you go too far. And that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to use this NOS. You know what I mean? You're already driving down the freeway, and then it's Saturday and nobody's there, and you hit the button and you go cruising a little too fast. Why? Because you're supposed to have that momentum for in case there's blockages in your way. I usually go through all this shit the day before, so I can just cruise through Saturday. Sundays are great days spiritually. You should be in a good alignment. You just woke up with a joyful spirit in the sun. You're not supposed to plan stuff. You're supposed to enjoy stuff on Sunday. That's times when you would enjoy. That's really supposed to be a joyful day. I do a lot of work on Sunday, but I still have a great attitude unless I'm burnt out from, you know what I mean, pushing my limits the night before. And that sounds like anybody. Did you party too hard on a Saturday and now you're fucking got an attitude on Sunday? Yeah. You better pull that together or you're going to be even shittier tomorrow on Monday. Monday's a moon day. It's like a debilitating day. God has told me and teach me for months to take that day off and just sit and reflect. It's made to do so. He doesn't give you the energy to do anything else but to sit with your feelings and your thoughts. Why? Because in the processing of that, you'll be able to take better action on a Tuesday. But you can only do so much. So I did what I was supposed to do, which was walk away from the job. What else am I supposed to do, God? Well, my mind, as I said in my last video, it fills up with all kinds of things, tasks to fill the day. But God doesn't get, as I think about it, it's like, you want to go to Walmart? No, I don't feel like I have the energy. And that's where it is. It's like, you're not lazy. You're waiting for the drive. Now I know I have to go to Walmart, so I'm waiting for the energy, the drive. And that's where you wait for the opportune moments where everything opens up. Like at that moment, I'll be there and there'll be less people and I'll get front row parking and all this. But if I just go for the sake of going, then I'm going when everybody else is just flowing. And that's what they say is there's a laundromat by my house where I go to do laundry. A lot of people don't go there because they only have a few washers and a few dryers. And if you go, if you're not one of those people, you'll sit there and there's no washer or dryer to use. I go at the perfect time where there's literally nobody every time. But by the time I'm leaving, all the washers and dryers are completely full. Really? Yeah, it's just knowing when to go and when not to. It's not that you give up on it. It's that you're anticipating when the energy will come. It's kind of like waiting for your boat. It's like, nah, we're going to go, but just not yet. My kids don't like that. People don't like that. When you're waiting for the flow, you're waiting for the right flow to catch this right wave. But if you go against it, then you're just stuck in traffic. Ultimately, some kind. Red tape and blockages, like, fuck, why did I do this? I could have waited to do this. I did not need to do this right now. I'm so mad I did this. And even when you do it, it's like it didn't even work out. You fucking forgot what you were even going for. You're just hurrying up to get through it. Really? Yeah. The hard part is being still. There's a whole religion, you know what I mean? As I see Buddha over there, it's like, can you sit like this like I do all day? I didn't even realize that I even started like that. I've always liked to sit in this position. Whenever I got nervous, whenever there wasn't a seat in the room, I just like to sit down on the floor in that position. It makes people nervous. I will do it in a dress. I will do it on the cement in front of a nightclub. I'll do it behind the nightclub in an alley, still in my dress. I've always been that. Don't mind, I mean, I'm not going to show you my panties. I always put my jacket or something, but I swear to you, I sit like that. And I didn't realize that I was always in meditation. And that's where I started laughing. You know, I'm seeing something I said, you know, there's this tarot reader. What's her name? Kelly, Lunar Eclipse Tarot. And this bitch is like, divine feminine doesn't chase and divine feminine. And I was like, can you see this bitch sitting down in her living room or any part of reality like this, listening to God and getting downloads and being an intuition? Now, I really could see Wolfman doing some shit like this, but you don't always got to do it like this. You could just sit down and be outside and just sit with your thoughts. And that's what I try to create to all of those that can't do this, because it literally is a mastering of a meditational pose to sit like I do. As I'm sitting in this chair, and I do in all chairs, I'm sitting like that. That's why you hear the chair doing all that stuff. I don't hang my feet over a chair. I sit like this all the time, everywhere I go. As I'm sitting out in the, you know what I mean, on the pavement and shit, I sit on a blanket so that I can do that. The pavement is cold. The stone is cold. So I always carry that blue blanket. It's a weighted blanket, and it keeps me, you know what I mean? And then I have other blankets and shit, and I'm always covered. But this is what it is to get into a comfortable state and just, they call it meditate, but it's just soul search. You could close your eyes. I don't know what you're going to see. I just see a bunch of fucking white lights. You know what I mean? A bunch of bright white lights until things start popping up. So in the words of witchhood, we call it scrying, where you just zone out. You stare at something so hard it completely disappears, and you stop blinking, and you can see past whatever you're really looking at into something else. Really? Yeah. I don't know where all this came from. Not being able to take action. I have to sit and wait. I don't know what God wants me to do. My mind wants to do a million things just to be busy, but I don't have the willpower to actually do any of it. At no point do I have the willpower. Okay, I'm ready, like I do on a Thursday. I wake up and I want to put on a face and I want to be pretty and I can't wait to get out. That's a Saturday morning. I can't wait to get out. I do not feel that way today. You know what I mean? And on some days, that's how it is. It's like, all right, I've got this plan. I've mentally planned for this. I'm ready for this. I'm ready to go with the flow. And then it just comes out of nowhere. I'll be sitting next to you and I'll be like, all right, I'm going to go. Where are you going? I had some shit to do and I just feel like now's the time. And that's where it is. It's like it builds up and the time it comes when it comes. And you just feel it. It's like, you know what you need to do right now? And you're just like, yep, I got to do that right now. Right now is the time. Like right before the fire alarm went off, I ate something and I put the dishes and I washed the dishes and I was like, all right, I reached over and I just grabbed the vacuum. I was like, I need to vacuum this like right now. I had been looking at it and didn't vacuum before that. I'm sitting next to it and I was like, nope, I gotta do it right now. And that's what it means, is the right is now. When you feel right about doing it, that's the now. Divine timing, right? So going back to it, it's like I can't force myself to do anything that doesn't feel right. And you can't force me either. I mean, you might be able to drag me. I might tell myself, you better go with him or something. You know, I can manipulate myself, but I'm not going to feel right about it if I said I didn't want to go right now. It's hard. Anyways, let's go back to your fucking anger, your payback. You may consider her reactions to be treacherous and volatile, quick off the mark, but believe me when I say they had it coming. Don't judge me too harshly. When emotions are hijacked, it's hard to not rise to the bait. When your hardwired beliefs and expectations aren't lived up to, or to the disappointment and the letdown bludgeons you to the lightning speed, hitting you like bullets. Being provoked triggers waves of emotions that send you spiraling over the edge, and before you know it, that's when the damage is done. Knee-jerking reactions. What is that? Triggers, but it's like a knee-jerking reaction is like something that's like, oh, that was ugly. Such as screaming, shouting, or even self-harm, to anything that's deemed as threat, such as obstacles, pressure, rejection, rejection, or unexpected situations is primitive survival in the highest form. As soon as I read that, I got stuck. Rejection. Rejection. I saw something. Say this out loud, people. Say this. I don't want anything that doesn't want me. Say that out loud. I don't want anything that doesn't want me. It's a very dangerous prayer, invocation, spell, or affirmation, however you want to look at it. But you're telling the universe is like, I'm tired of chasing shit that isn't meant for me. I'm tired of wanting the things that don't want to be part of me or that aren't part of me. I don't want the things that don't want me. Right? And that could be anything about, you know what I mean? Like, I could see it in money. I could see it in all kinds of things. It's how you send this information out to the universe. Right? So the morbid preoccupation devours your every waking moment as a driving force behind vengeance, right? So these are your thoughts. You're like, I'm going to get them back for whatever. Let it go. It's so easy. It's like, let it go. How do you let it go? You understand that it wasn't for you and that everything is as it's supposed to be. You're not supposed to keep a vengeful heart for the wrongdoings. Forgive them, for they knew not what they did. And then you're like, no, they planned this out. I don't think so. People are really fucking stupid. They really didn't have any idea of what they said. Looking back at Bobby, do you think he knew that what he said was going to have such a huge effect? Until he asked for forgiveness, then he's just guilty of some stupid shit. You know what I mean? But in the essence, it's like, they're not calculated. And even in their best calculations, dude, what were they trying to do? Hurt you? Did they get over on you? Did they take your money? Or did things just go sour and you're the one holding the sour cup? Talking about, I'm going to get them. I'm going to show them. You know, the best revenge is to just work on yourself. You want to show them that you're better than them, just go be better than them. I never had to show, I never even tried, bro, on God. On God is my witness, bro, and in those videos, I didn't have to show these men why I was worth their time. If anything, I had to show myself why they were worth mine, is what's in those videos. I wasn't going to prove. I was never about, this Faminod shit, this jealousy. I'm not that. And I can feel it from the very beginning. It's not the same energy as Lucifer. That jealousy, no. Above it. I'm so above it. It's like nobody's above jealousy. I'm here to tell you I am. When you know your true worth, there's no comparison. I never had to prove myself to them. And I never felt like I was in league with anybody. I felt that I was completely out of league. And because I'm over here built with 8 arms and a whole fucking goddess that can fly, that nobody wants to touch me. You know what I mean? In that essence, it's like, it's not about my physical, dude. It's my spiritual authority that scares the shit out of these men. And again, going back to Wolfman, based on his type of little fucking girls, I'm not his type. But maybe he never tried for a fucking real woman before. You know what I mean? Like, they're trying to build them like me. I don't know why you're not ready for that. You may need to do some research. But in the sense of, we already had some really great dirty talks about that. Jealousy is not something I have, and that's something that runs between men more than women, I think, is that they're always, you know what I mean, competing and comparing to establish themselves. Like, I'm the bigger man, or I'm this and I'm that. For whatever reason, the war can go on. I'm seeing Pac. It's like this shit could go on forever and ever until somebody loses their fucking life. If that's what the fucking point you want to prove to the end of time. You want to make this beef, you want to just keep fucking grounding beef for the fucking rest of your life. Fucking hamburger helper over there. You're justified to be. I'm going to sit there and, tell it, I'm on your side. I'm not on anyone's side. I'm on the side of true feelings. And I truly feel where you're coming from. And that's fucked up how they made you feel. But in the essence of the true essence of what I am, I'm going to tell you that the pain, the knife goes both ways, bro. It didn't just cut one side. It cuts both ways. As the sword, the one that bears the sword of truth, it cuts both sides. There's not a dull side to this knife. You both got hurt. You're just holding on to it, or they're hiding it. It's just hurt because shit went sour. We all lost our friends along the way. I'm not friends with the people I was friends with at any point in my life. Over and over. You could say I got backstabbed or I cut this up, or you know what I mean? We burned bridges, whatever it is. Time changed, heals all wounds, whatever the case may be. You live by the sword, you die by the sword. I just live by a different sword, which is truth. What kills my relationships? Truth. What kills your relationships? Is it all their fault? You give them all the power that they did this to you, and now you have to get them back. That's that justice system. You killed my baby. I want fucking justice. So you run to man to fight your battle instead of God. God, they've taken my child. They have taken nothing from you. I've brought your child home. That's the voice of God. You're just not listening. All you can hear is, they took from me. You did not own that child. That's a child of God. And when you lost him, God gained him, and you go back to where he is to be with him. Where is he? In hell? No, you are. You're currently in hell from your loss. He's right there next to the bosom of God, waiting for you to reach God so you can reach him. You can't reach him in that feeling. You can't reach anyone in these dark feelings, bro. But everything's outside of them, and that's what I said in my last video. We get through these, you'll be on the 4D with every spirit that ever was. You'll be right there at the gates of God. He's only going to shove you back out, though, I assure you. Really? That's how it works. You go up and you come back. And you go up and you come back. A good example of that would be, what's her name? Bruce Almighty. What's his name? Jim Carrey. He tells his spirituality journey. He tapped in. And he just kept trying to get back there, and you tell people about it. That's what happens to people that have those coming to Christ moments. You find an internal bliss that gives you peace about everything, that's even the fucked up shit outside of you. And you want to share this bliss, but you have to keep going back to it to keep it until you harness it inside of you, which is just the word of Christ. You have to keep studying this way of life before it becomes your way of life. If your religion isn't giving you that freedom and that joy and that knowing and peace, then you're not under the right studying. It's not that you're not studying the right book. It's that you don't have the right teacher. No disrespect. But you know what I mean? What kept me in churches? They made me feel good. If your church isn't making you feel good while you're battling the world outside of you, then you're not in the right community. I was a devout Christian before I was your high priestess, your pagan high priestess. You know what I mean? And I never left Christianity. I brought Christ into the pagan religions. I brought him. I got him and I brought him. And here we are. So going back to this, wherever we turn, this is not where I was going to go with this at all. We're going to move on. You're justified in all your feelings. As the goddess that rolls over the moon, which is your feelings. I am the goddess of your feelings. I am there to acknowledge them, tell you what they are, how they feel, and that you can get through them. But that's what temptation is. I'm tempted by my feelings. I want such things. I desire such things. I passion such things. The things they tell you are evil. Those feelings that you have of vengefulness is a feeling of God. God is vengeful. You have his vengeance inside of you, and if you don't control it, you will harm another. It's an uncontrollable thing. You know what I mean? I felt it, towards my baby daddy. I really wanted to physically hurt the shit. I was gonna fuck. I had visions fucking that guy up, bro. I was filled with it. I was so angry. I was filled with tears, and it was justified. After everything, I was allowed to feel this way. I just wasn't allowed to do anything about it, but just ask and pray and understand and let it go. And know that in good time, God will make him pay for what he's done. I don't have to make him pay. He is paying by the fact that my kids are almost grown and he'll never have this opportunity again. He's paying by losing us. And I'm winning, you know what I mean? And that's really what it is. The pain is that he never was there with us to help us. But that's also his payback. He'll pay for what he's doing. What he's doing is hurting him every day. It's not hurting you every day, just right now. And that's where it is. It's like, all right, let it go. It's not easy to let it go, but you're justified in it. Whatever it is, this hurts. It does hurt. It hurts. But you can't let that hurt make you, you know what I mean? Make you hurt forever. It hurts when we lose somebody. It hurts when they die. It hurts when we're betrayed. It hurts when we lose anything. It's a loss. We took an L and it hurts. All different parts of our being. We can't get stuck on the things that we've lost. We got to get ready for what we're about to receive. It's just a different mindset. I don't know. I laughed this out and it's like, oh, you're going for the vengeful act, huh? This always works well. How do I know this? At this time, God is making people suffer so dearly that you are not going to you're not in a position to unleash vengeance upon his people when he is. You have no right or authority. What's happening, the suffering upon people is God's vengeance that was proclaimed in the book. You have no right unless he gives you the right to do so. And he uses you as his right-hand man to, you know what I mean? But when it all comes down, you're the one that catches the case, bro. And that's it. Every time God makes me run my mouth out there in his name, I'm the one that catches the blowback. He's not here to catch it. It's me. It doesn't matter. Oh, God made me do it. No, that was you, bitch. You're the one going down for this. God's not standing here. You are. And that's where you got to have this invisible God fight your battles. Like, oh, shit. You walked me into this, dude. You told me to do this, and now they're out to get me? Really? Yeah. I'm just saying, bro. Do my anointed no harm. They're not just specific people. He loves all his children, and all of them are suffering, and you're going to go over and make their life worse because you're suffering? He doesn't see that just, and he's just not going to let it happen. Unless you're like Trump. He's using Trump to, you know what I mean, for change, for destruction. He's using Trump, and, you know what I mean, he uses maniacal people to put suffering upon people. It's not that God doesn't know what these people are doing. He gives them authority to do something, but not you. You can't just go fuck up your, you know what I mean? Like going back to my daughter, that's a perfect example, bro. Her best friend was jealous because her boyfriend liked her. They were cool friends, bro. I have the messages still. Can Gabby come over? The girl had nobody but wanted to come hang out at the fucking homeless shelter. She can't even come in the building. They were just going to hang out outside of it. And then she's done it before. And then Gabby's boyfriend started liking Amelia. And so over Halloween, Gabby accused Amelia of going trick-or-treating with her boyfriend, which did not happen. I made the videos. It did not happen. So then Monday morning rolls by, and Gabby says she's going to fucking jump Amelia for fucking with her boyfriend. And she sends her little brother to come fucking fuck with her. Amelia reports it, and Gabby gets suspended. But now her brother's still haunting her in the fucking school and shit. Finally, give it a week later, bro. They confront each other, and they go to get into a fucking fight. Amelia throws Gabby to the floor. The little brother tries to hit Amelia in the head with his skateboard and ends up busting his own sister's head wide open. Gabby ends up going to the hospital. She has stitches. They shave her fucking head, and she's expelled from school. The brother gets expelled from school and actually has to go to juvenile hall based on the fucking footage that all the kids sent in. The mother is in the middle of all of this, and it's all because you got jealous and wanted to take your fucking jealousy out on an anointed one who never did no harm to nobody. She didn't do nothing to make you jealous, bro. She didn't do nothing to get the attention of your fucking boyfriend, but you want to fucking hurt her because your boyfriend's interested in her. Some fucking diddy shit, bro. And I use this as an example because this is the first time in her life that she's seen how protected she is. And it just goes back to that. God's got you. He's not going to let people come up and fuck up your life. Ew. Okay. And that's just it. Is like, you can't just go around fucking with people, bro. He loves them. And they're already having, you know what I mean? This girl, like, think about the bigger picture. Amelia doesn't have a friend in the fucking world. She lives in a fucking homeless shelter. She's trying to be nice to you and you're trying to hurt her. You're not going to hurt this girl. She's already got a hard life. You're not going to hurt this girl. And what would have happened, dude? His intention was to bust my daughter's head open. They were going to bust my daughter's head open, bro, over fucking jealousy, bro. So when I see this, it's like, I've seen this work out. This isn't going to go so well on your behalf. You might think you got away with some shit, but I promise you, you fucking didn't. He's going to come for you for what you've done to his children. And you're like, who's his children? All of them. Hold on 1 second, okay? Okay, there was some people coming to check the fire alarms and the window. They do that a lot around here. Like, how often? I don't know, a lot. Almost weekly. So your feelings can take control of you and you can go real dark. Point of that story. I mean, I think it's funny. It's like, how dark can you go? I mean, the stories in history are pretty dark. Cannibalism? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? And that's really what it is like, you have to respond. Everybody's waiting on you to respond. What are you going to do? I'm seeing Drake. When all that shit, bro, fucking Kendrick just kept doing it and kept doing it. And he was trying so hard to get a response. Do something. Say something. Do something. Say something. Do something. What do? You end up drowning the energy, bro. They're waiting for the rise, and that's what was going on with me and Russ. He knew that he could say something and I would do something. And he liked the excitement of, I got that bitch. And I'd like the excitement of, I got that bitch. And we'd just go round and round for it, dude. He'd start a fight, and I'd fucking put him out, bro. Lay him out. And everybody would sit there. There's Marshall with the popcorn. Oh, she's going to fuck him up with this one. And they love it. And he loves it because he loves the attention. Why? Because I'm all talking about him, and everybody's looking at him, and he don't give a shit. He just loves that I'm actually acknowledging he still exists because I rejected this motherfucker. And then I go back to what just happened with Bobby. It's like, you just want me to acknowledge you exist, bro. You have no point in being part of my existence. It's like, I don't want something that doesn't want me. He wants probably the same thing everybody wants, the fame and fortune that comes with being with me. Wolfman, you'd be lying if you didn't admit that to yourself, that that's what's driving you towards me. You already told Lucifer, and he told me. Your true intentions are known by God. And I didn't deny you. I said, you want my power? Come get it. The fact, it's like that Phoenix moment, dude. It's like, I'll give it to you. And that's why I said, all right, look what I did. I purposely gave it to Bobby. You want it? I'll give it to you. It's killing me. You think you can harness it any better? Okay, sure. Come here. Come here. Come here. As far as manifestations, just imagine. All you can do is think it, and it comes into life. And you can't control your thoughts, so everything you fucking think is coming to life. Then you go back to, you know what I mean? The liar. You can't lie no more. You can't do any of this. Nothing you used to be able to do works anymore. You're literally pulled out of the matrix. You can't be the person you were. You've got all these magical gifts, but you can't be that person with them. You're a different person. You can't use them in the world you just came from. It's like having limitless power on the other side of a fucking, in a wall, in a tank. It's like you can do whatever you want over here. You can't inflict it on anyone. You can't do any of that shit. Not realistically. Not my power. If you're sitting there pulling on dark powers to bring darkness across humanity and to harm people, well, then they're going to get into your mind and make you feel okay about being a piece of shit that's hurting people. But that's not how my God works. He makes you feel bad about the people that are already hurting and makes you feel obligated to do something magically to help them. It's called a priesthood. It's very different. But that's what it is their intentions. Be honest. And that's what I told him a long time ago, but he couldn't even admit to that. It's like, just admit it. You just want to fuck me. He couldn't just say it. He couldn't just be a man like that man came up to my window and said it. That man came up to my window. Do you want to have sex? He was very and that's why I respect him. Yeah, he keeps stalking me all the time. Same as fucking Bobby. But at least I know what he wants. He wants to fuck me. And that's forgivable. Why? Because there's nothing wrong with me. I'm beautiful, and what man doesn't? It's just a reminder. At least this man was honest about it. Yeah, he was probably totally lit on cocaine for him to be that honest first thing in the morning. Or who knows? God just made him be fucking blue. He just been thinking about it forever and couldn't hold it in anymore. But he did it. He was just honest. And that's where you're denying what you really want. It was some bullshit. I couldn't even believe it. He asked me in the very beginning, so what do you want? Because I was like, all right, I got to give into these feelings. I cannot, dude. I just have to admit that I love you, even if you don't love me back. And then he fucking calls me after ghosting me forever. And he's like, yeah, I just felt like I had to give into the feelings too. Shut up, bitch. Piss me off with this shit. Anyways, he's like, so what do you want? And I was like, I don't know. And then I hung up the phone and I texted him right away and I was like, I lied. I know exactly what I want. I just couldn't say it. I want what I was promised. I've been trained my whole life to be the perfect wife, and I've never had a good husband to love. And his response was, well, I'm married now. That wasn't a no to me. And with that being said, it's like, how blunt do you have to be? I don't know. He's told me a couple times he's not leaving his wife, but then his actions speak differently. So then it's like, you're feeding into my confusion, and it's my job to figure this out. And it's like, this is a great fucking, Adam and Lilith story for everyone to watch, these third-party stories that somehow this world has normalized being a side chick, and the shit is not normal. And I got pulled into the great karma of this story. But realistically, it's like, be honest. What do you want? I mean, you're not going to like this, but I want the whole thing. I want a happy family with you, bastard. And when I realized that I wanted it with him, even though he didn't say that he wanted it with me, I knew that's what I wanted going forward. So that's what I said to every man going forward. I knew what it was that I was looking for. I just didn't realize what I was asking for until like just recently. And that was scary because then I was like, that's a quick way to weed out the wimps. Tell people you want to get married and have children and have, be somebody, grow old together. That makes those that are scared of it to go away because they're not willing to accept that's what they even want. Why the fuck are you dating if that's not what you want? Yeah, you want sex, but you want something more, and you're not ready to accept that. You want closeness. You want cuddles. You want breakfast. You want hugs. You want to hold hands. You want that forever connection. And if you're not ready to admit it, then you got some work to do. And that goes back to Wolfman. He didn't want that. He just wanted to have some closeness, have little adventures, Mr. Knight of Wands. And that's where I was. And that's where I was, that's where I was. And that's where Bobby was, where Bobby is. When I met him, I wasn't ready for all that. But it was enough just to have somebody to meet up with and be close with while I was trying to get through my life. And that's where he is. He wants to just have someone to, you know what I mean? To and it's not unforgivable. It's just I've outgrown this. I know what I want. I'm ready for more than this. And that's, at first admitting that was me and that's all I could handle because I wasn't emotionally or mentally or even physically capable of bringing a man into my life. Right? I wasn't there. And I admit that I had that mindset. I'm just going to, you know what I mean? Through sex, I can feel love. And that was enough love to get me through. But it wasn't like I was having sex with anyone outside of the same guy. Like, oh God. So you can imagine when he comes back, I have this burning heart's desire. And then he comes around and I just totally go ballistic with him. And I'm like, oh my God, what has happened to me? Well, I didn't know me. And that's where you discover you, what makes you and why you do the things you do. And you decide if you want to keep doing these things or you don't. And then I show you how difficult it is to change your being. And I have a perfect cover for this. The hardest thing that you'll lose during this is yourself. You don't, though. You bring yourself fully in and you love yourself fully through it to where you alchemize yourself. You don't lose it. It becomes a part of you that you did forget. I didn't lose that part. I mean, I did before, but by reclaiming it, and that's what it is, reclaiming your feelings, your dark experiences, your dark memories, by bringing them back to the surface. Yeah, part of it is reliving the dark experience, but alchemizing it is bringing that experience into your life and letting it be part of your life instead of leaving that part of you out of your life. Leaving that part of me, which is my sexual nature and my desire for closeness, out of me is the biggest part of me. As a woman, you desire to be close. You desire to be protected. You desire a man's touch. You desire this. As a man, you should desire the same such things. You know what I mean? It's unnatural for myself or Eminem or any one of you guys that have given up on love. You're giving up on yourself, the ability to be held again, to be loved, to be laughed at, to be fed, to be held, to be all those great things, bro. I know we're afraid of it and maybe haven't even ever received it, but it's something that's promised to us in this life. As the Lilith, it's something that I rejected from the beginning. And often we do. Somebody comes in and we reject the very possibility. And I show you that through the twin flame journey. I rejected the possibility. It was just a possibility. And then when I wanted more, you know what I mean? And that's what it is, vice versa. They rejected the possibility of what this could be. Why? Because of surface level fucking conditions. Welcome to the story. But little by little, you open up to possibilities. You break down the limitations and you open up to the infinite nature of possibilities. Even if the other person doesn't, you open yourself up. It's about opening yourself up, not being closed down because other people are, or because they were. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, Marshall, it didn't work with, you know what I mean? She didn't open up, but it doesn't mean that another woman won't open up. You have to be the first one to open up to the experience. If you want a new experience, you have to open up to it. And that's where it is. It's like, you look at a man right like him that can have any woman in the world if he just give himself a chance. He has to give himself a chance, not them. Well, them too. but it's more himself. He's stressing himself that more than he is them. He can pick and choose. He can, you know what I mean? He can fine tune whatever he wants out of them, but it has to be up to him to give himself this opportunity to try again and not give up just because this one didn't act right and that one didn't act right and they ain't got no act right. One of my favorite songs he sings is Normal. I just want you to be normal. Why can't you bitches just be normal? And he meets an abnormal bitch like me. I love her. She is every red flag I've ever fallen in love with in my past. I know, but we have to fix this. I can't just be your red flag. We need to be a green flag. I'm a rainbow flag. Taste the rainbow. That's a good one. Well, I didn't plan on going this way. After Falmanach, you're in your own hell. Where is hell? 8 of Swords, bitches. 8 of Swords. What is hell? Self-made imprisonment, bro. Isolation. Isolation and denial. You're just stuck in this place of your own making, of your own mind. Seeking hell. Don't go to hell. I love that joke. It's like, where are you going? To hell if I don't change my ways. And that's where it is. It's like, I'm living on heaven right now, but if I don't act right, I'm going to end up in hell just like the rest of you. Where are you? You're in hell of your own making. Ancestral healing. Oh, shit. Sheila Nagid comes after hell. Yeah, that's next week. We'll leave hell just to go deal with our own personal hells of sexual. I have to deal with this. I have sexual trauma to deal with before I'm ready to have sex again. Fucking shit. What are they going to do? I'm afraid they're going to give me memories. This one, I think, comes with memories. Really? I think so. This is going to be painful. All right. After that comes a Sarah Dwayne, which was hope. But then I told you, Maeve comes in and prepares us for war. Queen Maeve. Initiation of conflict, strategy, and determination. What? She is the sister, and I have an enormous book about Sheila Nagig and Maeve that team up and talk about your addictions and shit. Then here comes Morgan, the initiation of battle and sovereignty. Where are we? 10 days of battlegrounds. After Morgan comes what? I told you, bitches. The Khalik, which we pulled yesterday, and what? Which is Kobe, pushing all limits. Initiation of survival and endurance. That means you got to push through this, dude. The Cold War, the 100-Year War. Dude, think about Joan of Arc. She sits in my bed. She sits right here, reincarnated. Really? This is a young child that was born with the destiny to stop this war, a man's war. I will send in a woman. That was God's plan. And here I am. I will send in a woman. They'll never see the woman coming. They wrote about me in the book. What are you talking about? I'm in there. Yeah, but they don't read that part of the book. Good point. Nobody reads the end. He always send in a woman. There's so many women in the book, bro. Why? Because the men are not paying attention to the women. Anyways, she went in and she stopped the fucking 100-Year War. He trained her. The angels came to her and told her what to do. And she went out there and she stopped that war. Really? Yeah. Born of survival, fight for life. Sufferance of tears and strife. Darkness shadows over light. Claiming death through the blackened night. So this is the stage of Kali. Mountains, rocks, hammers, snow, grain, deer, standing stones, the land, and the color blue are all things that will stand out to you during this time. The themes are winter, the divine hag, balance, cycles, rebirth, survival, endurance, overcoming, and protector of wild animals. The lessons are endurance, tenacity, and survival. I'm seeing this like, I don't know. It's just a vision of a warrior in the cold. And it's like the battle, he's lost from the battlegrounds. He's lost his troops. He's out there. He's still alive, but he's just moving through the forest. And he has to stay alive and keep moving and be aware of the danger everywhere until he finds what he's looking for. And he has no idea where he is. because he strayed so far away from the battlegrounds and away from his troops. So he's a lone wolf out in this. I'm seeing this vision. And that's where this stage is. You're far from the actual battle, but you're in a battle of your own. And that's just staying alive and keeping up hope. Hope and faith is what gets you through the darkest nights. You can't see how this is, you don't know where you're going. And that's what I was trying to say. The Knight of Swords hit me today in that sense. I still have no direction. You hope that if I do this, then I'll know what to do next. But the next doesn't come until the next time. You have to sit there. You'll use up all your energy swimming in circles in the dark. You have to just sit there. It's not that you're waiting for someone to rescue you. You're just waiting for a sign of light to know which way to go. There's a lot of it. I teach of you, that's why I was like, Jesus was so fucking metaphorical and so fucking, all those parables. But it's the visions that he was given, and that's why he spoke like that. He was speaking the visions that he was given. And that's where I try to see, I'm telling you what it looks like. They're battles of the mind. But they feel like, as you're going through this reality, this is what it feels like. And that's what I can say. I can't tell you what it really is. I can tell you what it feels like. You're in a stage right now where you're all away from you're all on your own in your own battleground, and you have to stay alive. You have to keep hope and keep, you know what I mean? That's what survival means, and keep pushing through. You can't be like, and that can happen to any male or female where I've been alone for 3 days. Nobody has found me. I've seen no sign of anything. I'm going to fucking die out here. And you start just digging your grave because you're sure you're going to die. Nobody's ever going to find you. That's like, floating in the ocean. You crashed your boat and you've been fucking floating in the ocean for fucking 3 days and nobody's found you. And you're really at the point where you think you're going to die now. Nobody's going to ever find you, and that there's no hope. All hope is lost. That's the stage of Kalik. The coldest months, the hard winters, where you have to endure. You can't go outside, and that's what it is. You're put into hibernation. You can't go out there. You'll die out there. You have to stick it out. You have to stay in here and stick it out. Really? Yeah. There's a lot to this stage. Let me see where I can just kind of, without telling you all the stories of her Scotland powers and blah, blah, blah. I am the one you fear. I am the bringer of death. I am everything you've been avoiding. Yet it is I who is to answer your wishes and dreams of the future you hope for. And that's what it is. Death to the old. This is where it comes in and everything comes crashing down, dude. And we got towers and all that. Kali is the goddess of destruction. As I see that, I'm being guided to pull a Kali card, which will bring peace during the time of destruction. We're always going through it. It's just renovation. Don't think of it as destruction. Absolute destruction. It's not supposed to feel that way. Where are my Kali cards gone? They're not really dark. Are they in the light cards? Archangel, here we go. Nope, we need Kali, please. And thank you. Are these Kalis? Nope. Portals. Light workers, light frequencies, angels, butterflies, goddesses. Where are my Kali cards? More goddesses. Meditation. Check this out. Look familiar? The message is to chill and wait for, you gotta wait for freaking, those ones. Your next, you could be waiting for someone to get you, I suppose. That's where fucking Red is. He's waiting for God to tell him what to do. That's not how he works. He presides over the opportunities you have. And he can urge you, but only urge. There's my Kali cards. They were in the dark. What is our next one? That one. That's a nice card. We'll read that later. But that's what's going on right now. The goddess of Kali is destruction. And that's just, you're like, damn. It happens all the time around here. You're like, I don't know. It's like that husband that keeps fucking remodeling the house. It's like, didn't you just finish that room? Yeah, I'm going to do the closet now. The fuck? And then he's done with the closet. Now he's fucking with the bathroom. The fuck are you doing? Can you just go back to the garage? This God, what the fuck are you doing with my life? You just leave it alone, please. There's no such thing as the devil. It is I who holds the keys to your transformation in the highest, but in return for my gift, you must be brave and heroic as you face the desolation of winter and the bleakness of endings. Told you, Mr. Fucking. Should I put her picture up? I mean, I didn't get her card. Exhausted from what seems like an eternity of fighting the enemy, both within and without, you now find yourself in what seems to be like no man's land. And that's what I meant. You were totally part of the battlefield, and then you got lost, and now you're in no man's land. You're still not safe. You're just away from that particular battle. Now you're in this, you know what I mean? The phantasmas and shit. Now you're just afraid of what will come out. You're not even part of the battle anymore. Just like the shield maiden with the sword in her hand after the battle, which is who? Morgan. You survey the aftermath of destruction. There may not be many allies still standing, and deserters, those who have not stood by as you couldn't cope, who are quickly to disappear. And that's Kanye. You know what I mean? He went through a mental breakdown, and when he came out of it, there was nobody by his side. Nobody understood what he was going through. Nobody cared. He's coming out and trying to explain to people what he was going through, that dark night of his soul. But when he came out, there was nobody around. As you retreat to lick your wounds, the Khalik hears your anguish in the darkness and presents herself with her one eye, matted hair, and terrible teeth. She is the hand to instigate the death of all you once knew, and now that the war is over. She's the bone woman who awaits silently as you drop one more time into the abyss of despair. Her bony hands will hold yours, and as you strips you down naked to your very core until all illusions are broken. That's what I said. Here he goes. He's gonna strip me naked and hang me on the cross, jerking off to me again. Realistically, there's something intensely attractive to them when I talk about my sexual trauma, which makes me wonder what's wrong with you. But I mean, it's just the verbiage, I suppose. This stage of the dark night of the soul change is afoot, and if you have been desperately clinging to the old self, you must understand that dying to the old will escalate you to where you truly desire to be, and that's what it is. I'm still clinging to Bobby. There's still something that's making us cling together, and if we don't, it's going to die. If it doesn't transform into something new, it dies here and it dies now. I told him this for weeks. And that's where it is like, it's dying, bro. This contract is dying. It's dying. I cannot stay in this skin. I'm outgrowing it. I can't be this person. I told you this for weeks. I'm outgrowing this connection. You have to grow with me. I want the next level of love. Be the person. Love me. I know you have it in you. Just do this. If he can't, he can't. And that's where I look back now, and it's like, I couldn't be that for you, Bobby. Not 5 years ago, not even 3 years ago, but I'm ready now. And I can't be mad at you if you're not ready, because of all the time I wasn't. It's a terrible place, but it is a place. It's a growing place, and it's painful. This is painful, bro. And I'm trying my hardest to get him to grow with me. I did the same thing with Marshall. I did all of them. I'm growing. I can't stay here with you. I'm ready to go on. I'm ready to love. Like, love me. Give into this. Show me something. Do something. Come with me. Make this bigger. No, they just let it die. It didn't die. I still love you. I'm not going to those next levels with you. And you couldn't be mad about that. You couldn't take me to the next level. You weren't available to be that for me. The next level sounds good. Been waiting for this one. It's going to bring darkness, of course, as all levels do, but it's a level up. It is time to let go, to surrender and accept the death that death is never final. And that's what it is. Even though we don't get to be, you know what I mean, that next level closeness, it doesn't mean that you lose me forever. You still be in the energy, you know? Try not to fear, for it is simply a portal of rebirthing into the next and glorious stage of cycle called life, just like the challenging seasons themselves. And that's where it is. It's like, you like literally pushed me over there. Like, don't try with me, try with him. Oh, God. And then it had to be him. It's like you picked my next challenge that everyone else did unknowingly. It's like this was like literally, are you serious right now? But then I look back at it and it's like, I gave you up to your wife all those years ago. I don't regret it. Whatever happened to you guys, I wasn't capable. And if that's really what karma has done to you and you're not capable, then that's what it is. I hope you don't wake up like I did with those terrible feelings of loss. I had him, but his first baby mama came in and I backed up and it didn't work out. And she stepped up and she stood by his side and helped him fight for his baby and played, stepmom for him. And that's what I told you. I was too afraid to do this time. Can I step up and do this? And I was like, all right, I can do it. I can be the step. Oh God, please don't make me do this. And I fought through it to do that. And that's what you guys saw in this last kind of month. Could I be the woman I never could be before? Could I do what I couldn't do, which is basically what she does every day. I'm like, oh God. And that was it. I was like, I don't want to be your third baby mama. And then I didn't realize the Holy Spirit was like, bitch, whoever has sex with you is going to be your third baby daddy. Quit projecting. My son didn't hear that. He's laughing at something else. But still, it was kind of perfect timing. Her too.
He's so sad. It's so funny.
It sucks. It's a hard thing to get to that point. I look back at myself. I spent many years looking back. It's like I wouldn't even be going through this if I would have just acted in how I felt. But I couldn't. I can't do nothing. I can't blame him. I can't blame God. I can't blame my husbands. I just have to accept that I wasn't able to accept him and I lost him. And then, he came back and I thought I had an opportunity to do this again. And I didn't take the opportunity and I did, but it's not working out. And like, oh, well, it was unfinished business, I suppose. It was always contracted that I was supposed to make this leap because it was there. I didn't understand it. Why the fuck do I feel this way towards you? Dude, because I never acted in it. It was still there, dormant, waiting. Active fool is what I heard. That's what I did. Like, why am I acting like this with you? And I realized that I really liked him all those years ago and I really wanted something real with him and I really just didn't do anything about it. And it still was alive. And all the time that goes by, it just doesn't go away. And I'm like, all right, well, do something about it then finally. And that's what I'm doing, trying to do something about the feelings I always had so that they'll possibly go away. When you say it like that, it's like, damn, that's a very tragic story. So is the rest of my life. Just stick around for the next episode. It doesn't die here. God, I promise you. I'm trying to shove another fucking dude in my life that's probably unreachable. Leave a message at the tone. The Kalik is the goddess of the cold honesty who does not hold back from revealing the truth, for it is only the dark goddess who can shed light on, and it's like I was given another chance. It's not like this, it really wasn't like the circumstances were any different. When I met him, he was sleeping with a bunch of women, and then all of a sudden he had responsibilities to a child and that just came into his life. I meet him again later. Now he has the same responsibilities, a new child. It's like it's almost like it got harder. It's like you should have took your chance when it was easier. It was never easier, and I couldn't have took that chance. And even then, I still wasn't going to take the chance 2 years ago. I'm taking a really dangerous chance now that makes no sense, but it was just that it's something I never did before. It was a fight I never fought before. An internal fight. It's not really about winning. It's about finally being free from it. You never fought for this. I didn't. And that was Kobe. Why don't you fight for this? Because of all of these things. And I fought through it despite the things. The things are very real. He really does have all these real problems, and this is all very, very real. They didn't go away. I just started accepting it and going towards it. You know what I mean? My biggest fear was like, what if, you know what I mean? What are you asking for? And what if you got what you wanted? And would you be able to be all this and this, that, and the other? And I'm like, okay. And maybe it just doesn't, it just all goes away. And then I never have the desire to want to do it again. But I'll always have the desire to do it if I never, you know what I mean? For not doing it. Really? Yeah. At least I can walk away knowing that I tried my hardest. I didn't try. I just gave up all the time. I just ran away. I just didn't even try. Not really. I would a little. I'd try enough to get close, but then not keep trying. Why? Because every time I get close, he'd shut down like he always does. So it just became too much of a battle. I wasn't just battling myself, I'm battling him. It's like, I don't want the things that don't want me. Is what I'm trying to tell, the heart. It's not from my mind. It's trying to get the mind to do what the heart wants it to do. It's not in the mind. Some of you have an obsession for someone of the mind. Your heart totally knows better. If it was of the mind, I'd probably check myself into a mental clinic by now. But that's what it is I could never turn it off. I can control the mind, but I can't control the heart. And that's why I was like, all right, I'm just going to give into this because the mind power it takes not to is just demolishing me. That's why sometimes I just give in. It's like, oh, I want to see you. It's like, do I really? I mean, the mental battles I'm going to have to go through if you say yes is a whole nother thing. But just admitting that my heart is craving you is being honest in a way that I never was before. Instead of just denying it. I'm not even going to talk to you. I'm not even going to reach out. I'm going to pretend like I don't have this feeling for weeks and weeks and weeks until it's crushing me. And then I'm like desperate to see you now. Really? Mm-hmm. Well, the Kalik is pushing it to the limits. Cold hard honesty. When the Kalik appears, you can be sure that death is imminent. As destruction and chaos purposely follows her, you can expect frosty reception and cold indifference when the hideous grandmother pays you a visit in the wee small hours. Those who fear her bitter, icy cold attributes avoid her at all cost. And that's it. It's like when you're sitting in your room and you can see your breath. It's like, oh, the Kalik is here. Really? If you want to see it that way, she is the goddess of the cold. You do need to have some genuine fear of the bone goddess who sniffs out blood and will take yours for her own. As the queen of winter, she is associated with the aging process. Rather like the alternatives of midwives assist older women through menopause. She strips women of their fertility, leaving them dry and old as bone and barren and fruitless. It's not something I have to worry about. It's like, that's not my destiny. I'd be like praying to this goddess, take it away. Anyways, the Kalik also helps them survive the physical and emotional spiritual change that accompanies the rite of passage through the croning years. And that's where you leave your younger years. You lose the old you, the youthful you. Hey, dude, she's there when you're, you know what I mean? You go from your 20s to now you're a mother. It happens. In the birthing, it happens before you give birth. You're losing yourself. And so is the man on the other side. He's being forced to change, to grow up. He's going to grow up into something beautiful. The most beautiful thing he can be is a wonderful, caring, loving father and husband. But he fears the very idea of it. And you're about to lose all your freedom and your spontaneity and your youthfulness and your perkiness and your girls gone wild to become this beautiful thing that God wants, which is a mother and a wife. You're blooming into something that is beautiful and what God wanted and intended, but you're afraid to lose what you were to become what he wants for you. And then comes the empty nester. My kids are teenagers, bro. They're in high school. My son enters high school, next year. I don't have small children anymore. And in essence, we talked about this. I have older children in their 20s that I become a grandparent. I'm no longer responsible for small people. I help them take care of their small people. I'm responsible for, you know what I mean? That's where it is, you shed the skin and you move into the stages. People want to be young and dumb. What's wrong with being a beautiful adult, a wonderful mother or a wonderful father, a great husband? These are things that people are looking for secretly and admiring, but afraid to become. I'm seeing Kim and Kanye. They wanted it. They'd been searching for it. That's all they needed. They were perfect on their own. All they needed was some love. Throw some kids in there and be a happy family. They couldn't have it because they didn't let go of the other life. You can't live in both worlds. You have to give up this life for that life. But you're not giving up a bad life. You're letting go of a good life for a better life. It's great to be young and dumb and in your 20s and full of cum and you can do whatever you want and da-da-da-da. But it's also great to get to that age of in your 30s and you're respectable and responsible and people admire you and you know what I mean? You have a sense of purpose and you have, reasoning. And it's even better when people can come to you in your older ages and ask you for advice and look to you for wisdom and they really admire your beauty and they, you know what I mean? Because as you age, they really start to admire your beauty. Everyone's beautiful when they're young, but when you say beautiful as you're old, they really see that. And they admire as you get older. They don't admire the job you do because you stop doing that job. They admire the person you are. People don't think it's very admirable to settle down and have children, but that's what we were created for. And it is one of the most difficult jobs. And it's a job that changes you. It's like it gives you a reason to be a better person. Like I could sit around in my fucking pajamas and not do anything all day if they're not here. I have no reason to get out of my bed. I have no reason not to drink alcohol. I have no reason to say no to every bad experience in my life. I could say yes to everything you offer me. But when they come, I have to be more conscientious of what I'm doing to myself because I'm an extent they need me. I can't say yes to a party night because they'll need me in the morning. And that's not a bad thing. You look to have purpose. There's somebody needs you. They're looking up to you. It gives you a purpose to drive harder, to be better. Naturally, you want to do this with somebody that's going to do it with you for the long run and will stick there and, you can raise this happy family. But that doesn't always work out when you start putting on these roles. Become very restricting and you just don't have the, as far as running co-partners, parents and shit. There's 3 men that I've seen that I know for sure that live here with children and no wives, no women. There's 3 of them for sure. One of them, he runs around with the Bible. I was speaking to him. We were casting fucking, what is it, scriptures at each other. He was giving me fucking Luke and John, and I was giving him all these other ones. Sometimes it doesn't work out. Sometimes the person on the other side panics and can't stick it out, and now you're left, you know what I mean, being the only parent. It's not like you don't have it in you, but this is what it is. And that's really what it is. Why didn't I mess around? I had this healthy understanding that I had no proof that any man would stick it out with me, and I just didn't want to raise no more kids by myself. That was really it. After what had happened and I'd given it my all, I did everything to try to make a marriage work. I sacrificed myself fully, anything to make him happy so we could be happy, but nothing made him happy and I couldn't make this work. So by that time, I figured I couldn't make a marriage work. There's nothing, I don't know how to do this. I can't make a man happy. I tried everything. I gave myself completely and I don't know how to make a man happy. So I gave up. I gave up with the understanding that I make men happy. And then I realized that they just make me unhappy. A lot of rehabilitation on that. The Kalik is the hardest stages, bro. That's all I can say. It's the last stage before you come out of the dark night of the soul. So this is, it's darkest before the light, and it's about the death and the rebirth. And we're going through, 10 days of battles and destruction before conflict and all of that, before the new year, which is the rebirth. You're like, damn, didn't you just go through a rebirth? We do them all the time. which is what? Shedding our skin, evolving from the inside, possibly out. You know what I mean? I might look older. I'm getting older. I probably have more wrinkles and shit as the years go by. But it's not about how much older we look on the outside. It's how much wiser we've become on the inside. Yeah? And this is where it says at the end of the book. Kalik's story represents internal cycle of darkness and light through the changing of the seasons and the fertility of the land. She's a goddess of destruction and death, and her aspect of transformation should be considered. And it's at this moment I feel like I have the energy to go to Walmart now. What do you got to go to Walmart for? I mean, just some basic shit and some extra shit and lots of shit. Always just got to go. It's like going to the grocery. It's like going to get to the gas station for me. Really? Yeah. I do it a lot around here. You want to go to Walmart? Anyways, it's just like that. I didn't have the energy until now. Now it's come across me that when I close this book, I'm going to get up and I'm going to go to Walmart. I knew I had to. I just didn't have the energy to do it until now. She teaches you how to survive difficult, barren periods and will keep you frozen in time unless you heal from the past and learn the hard lessons dealt to you. That's where you can't go forward. Why? Because your past patterns are not allowing you. You get stuck, frozen in time. It happens. Why are you frozen here? Because you haven't learned your lesson. You can't go forward. Just like that. You've endured Kalik's cruel and harsh terrain and to be congratulated on being a born survivor. Now is the time to celebrate, to re-emerge of the light out of the darkness, for the renewal of life and the promise of successful future awaits you as the final goddess you are to meet bids you to join her in the sacred grove. The final goddess is Artemisia, and that's where she takes you out of the darkness and back into the valleys. It's like you've been in the dark forest for a long time, and she comes in with a light and says, "Come on now, let's get out of here. You've gone through it all." She's on the other side. I have a lantern that I carry in my ritual bag for her. She comes in to get you. And that's why I was like, maybe you're waiting for her to come get you. Sometimes you need someone to get you out of that darkness. Sometimes you're just waiting to see the light so you can pick yourself up and walk towards it. Sometimes you need God to come carry you out of there. You've been beat down. You can't even pick yourself up. There's many times I've been in there so dark. I can't get up, God. I can't get out of here. Help me, God. I have the strength to get out of my fucking mental prison from what you've put me through. And here I am today, going through more prisons. Breaking out of jails and shit. Come on, guys. We're getting out of hell. Oh, there's a cry about it. You can't ever really... That's why I was like, when does this end, Kobe? We get out only to go back in. Why? Because there's other people in there. There's other memories. There's other parts of us still left in there. We barely made it out. We're trying to get it out. I don't know about you, but every time I face a tower, I'm just trying to get through it. I'm just trying to get through this thing, bro. But you don't realize that you keep going back because there's more parts of you around this thing. You know what I mean? And that's where it's like, fuck, I want to go in the dark night of the soul. Don't make me go back in there. I barely made it out the first time. You just learn to get in there, bro. You learn to put on your fucking ski mask and fucking run through that bitch, bro. You know that you're going to face darkness. You know you're going to cry. You know you're going to get you're going to get depressed. You're going to feel hopeless. You know what it feels like to go in there. But you know what it feels like to come out. You have to go through that to get to God, to get to the other side. Then you go up there and then you sit in God's graces. It's like you die. Metaphorically, that's why they call it an ego death. And you sit there with God and with Jesus and with your ascending masters and your loved ones. You know, my mom and everybody, they're over there. And they're like, they're so proud of you. You did a great job. It's like, please don't make me go back. I can't live another day. But you got to. And not all days are going to be that bad. When do they come? Well, I got them down on a schedule, but they can come anytime where you're just there. Oh, God, guys, I'm in the dark night of the soul. I'm going to start crying. It's going to be hard. We got to get out of here. Let's figure out what we're in here for, what God's trying to show us in here. And I'll pull the cards and I'll find our way out. What is the dark night of the soul? It's reliving your dark experiences and finding the wisdom and letting go of the hard feelings. But you have to go into it and feel terrible while you're in there. I used to not be able to tell you what it is, but that's what I specialize in. I'm like, Wolfman, that's what you need to do. I keep telling you. I tell Russ, I tell everyone, I'm there with you, but I promise you, bro, can you cry? Because that's what you're going to do. You want God's powers? You're going to have to go through the things that make you powerless. The things you are powerless to. Obviously, my kids are watching great movies and they're very much into them. As I'm telling you, the great movie. Yeah, usually there's only one survivor. Hey, wow. I don't even know what to call this. She doesn't want to cry. Just cry for the situation. I gotta go. I guess this is the Dark Night of the Soul intro. There's lots of levels. This book, I'm if you're guided to buy the book, then you need a guide through what the Dark Night of the Soul. That's it. I'm telling you the truth. I have so many videos saying I should have never bought this book. It was all this book's fault. Why did I ever buy this book? This book should come with a warning. People shouldn't be able to just buy books like this. Why? Because it was describing every terrible thing that was happening in my life, and I felt like the book was doing it. It wasn't. It was guiding me through what was already happening. If you're going through the Dark Night of the Soul, then I tell you to get my Bible, which is Reclaim Your Dark Goddess, The Alchemy of Transformation by Flavia Kate Peters. It does speak to you in a feminine form because it believes that women are the only ones buying this, but it's the divine feminine awakening. And it's not only women that are, awakening to their divine feminine nature. And that's what the deal is. The fall of man is that, the rise of the feminine energy instead of the masculine. Don't let Trump hear you say that. He's going to go mad. But realistically, go back to Jesus. Was Jesus a masculine, forceful energy? Or was he not a divine feminine, a caring, loving, kind, nurturing energy sent by God? He was a divine feminine. So when I tell you that my men are divine feminine energies, I mean that in the most beautiful way. Allie and Lewis and Mike are more kind and loving and compassionate and forgiving and reserved and sensitive than I am, because they have more feminine energy than I do. Not that they do, it's that they act more in it than I do. I have more masculine brute, more pride, more ego that allows me to be that open, that kind, that sweet. Marshall could be like Lewis or like Allie if he worked through his mind, if he worked through the masculine energy. All right? Now, at the same time, I'm always encouraging Lewis, you could light a fire under your ass. You could get angry. You could get you could get mad. You could get a little dark. It's unnatural to be all light. And that's where it is. It's like Allie's all hurt, you know what I mean? How they harness their feelings. And that's Marshall. He's all divine feminine. He's all feelings. It's just he uses his willpower to force them in. And then you got Russell and he's all feelings. They're all feelings. Kanye and all his feelings. You're all feelings. Feelers. How does this make you feel? I had no feelings. I had no feelings about nothing. They were all I literally was disassociated from all feelings. So that's where I teach this. I teach you what the discovery of your feelings and how bad they hurt and how much they are and how overwhelming they are and what they are and how many of them you have and how to cope with them. Why? Because that's what I'm doing. Hey, I love yous. Laters. Good luck. We'll catch you laters with another episode of, how to get through. Laters.